in the bottom right corner, as the pink Protoss, it's Team Ducenath. And in the top left, as the purple Zerg. Oh god. It's Mumblehauser? I can't... Jeez. These names, man, these team names. But, yeah. So it's gonna be Gort and Mumbles versus Magneth and Duceman. I'm gonna call him Mumblehauser for game number 1. Check is asking in the chat, how do they pull it off at Blizzard events? Well, so that's why they have a caster's desk. That's why they have, like, talking about the games after. I'm not even memeing. Like, oh my god, the Diva Spray has been dropped. The Pylon has been dropped. Mumblehauser isn't having any of this nonsense. Mumbles the Madman from my very own Risen from the Ashes team. Yeah, so check Mumblehauser, there we go. Oh god, it froze. They accidentally walled themselves in, I think. Okay, is there... No, this is a full wall off. The Zealot's stuck on the outside of the wall. Oh no. This is not a good start for Team Ducenath. Mumblehauser getting underway. Yeah, so they actually have a trailer. So like... you know what? I'm gonna focus on the game for now, and I'll get into a little bit of the casters behind the scenes. We'll do like a little bit of a caster conversational during the downtime. But Ducenath grabbing the Zelnaga. Looks like Ducenath dropping a Stargate. The Overlord actually moved out of position, so not going to see this. Mumblehauser saturating their natural third. Getting a Roach Warren. This is actually really interesting. So Ducenath knows the location of the third that Mumblehauser took. But they're not going Adepts. I mean, they have one, but it's not even scouting out. He got one drone kill. And some delayed mining time. But again, it's not scouting out. It's not going into the main. It's not seeing the tech. It's not seeing this earlier Roach Warren. I mean, Lair perfectly normal timed, but we might be seeing a Nidus play. Oh, okay, never mind. They dropped a third. I guess it's not a full wall. He was trying to get the probe out. I'm a little bit confused here. Look, the circles are over. It's not. But is it? I don't know, man. Flings tag on to the Adept, along with some Urches. Doing a nice job deflecting here. And Mumblehauser kind of really behind in workers. They need to skyrocket up. They need to spend the larva. Overlord gets picked off. Mumblehauser should have the advantage, but just not spending that larva, not getting that drone count up. Oracle picks off a Roach. Tagging after a second. Should be enough energy here to get it. Yeah. Don't know about the third one. Oh, yeah, there's enough energy. Oh. Crawler is pinged. It's not down just yet, but 3 roaches and a drone go down for this one Oracle. She is gonna have to back off. A little bit out of energy here. Protoss getting out of Void Ray, some Stalker Zealot, Phoenix. Again, on paper, Mumblehauser should be ahead, but just so much larva that isn't drones, that isn't units for an attack. Ducenath should be behind on paper, but definitely ahead right now. 26 army supply to 9. Still 2 workers in the lead. Void Ray clearing out the Lings. A third base should be going down here. Indeed it is. It's not a full wall. I needed more sleep last night, man. Double Oracle Phoenix. Swooping around to see if some damage could get done. Phoenix tagging onto the Overlord. So the meta here is to lift the Queen and go after the drones. Looks like they're just going after the Overlord, though. I mean, the Oracles could directly engage this, but it looks like Ducenath choosing to play conservative, back off, going for +1 weapons, going for charge, an Immortal, almost out. Mumblehauser. Finally getting up there in the drone count, but they need a 4th. They need a 4th badly. They're going for a little Ling run by here, but there's not very many of them. Might get 1 or 2 probe kills. Void Ray. 3 probe kills. Triple Oracle Phoenix. Again moving in, but they're not turning on the lasers. Gonna fire on the Evo Chamber. They're not gonna cancel +1. I mean, they'll get the Evo Chamber, so that's 75 minerals and the drone gone. But you only really need 1 upgrade at a time. In ZvP, these guys have +1 and Carapace actually, but a nice stasis ward here, catching out about 6 drones. Recall on the Oracle from Ducenath. Mortal count continuing to rise. Army supplies roughly even for both players. Ducenath actually a little bit ahead in workers. Drops the 4th base, throws down a couple pylons. Fumble Hauser getting snipes. really like that play from Mumblehauser. They split off a couple roaches to delay and sacrifice to the Protoss so the greater army could survive, because they can't engage this. I mean, Ducenath is up 100 army supply to 60. I mean, I guess Mumbles is, they do have Carapace, but like it's not gonna do too much against Protoss. This is a lot of squishy Hydras going after these charge lots. They need to kite back on creep, but there's so many charge lots. Like these Hydras are just directly countered. There's so much splash. There's so many High Templars. 10 Infestors are coming out. Vile Reconstitution not done, so they're not going to have fungal growth. Protoss transitioning into Stargate behind this. Storms dropped on the Hydras. More storms on the drone lines. A couple infested Terrans being thrown to the front, gonna tank some damage. Bunch of lurkers morphed in. This could hold the line for the Zerg Archon. But, I mean, they're already down a base. The Protoss is taking a 5th base behind this. I really think that Ducenath has the lead. Oh my god, Infestor's getting picked off as they try to reinforce. Look at those hunks of meat. Throw another Infestor on the Barbie. Now, the Protoss can't engage into these lurkers, but the Protoss doesn't have to engage into these lurkers. He's up like 40 workers. He's up 2 bases. And it looks like he's just going to engage, take the losses. A couple Archons do fall. GG is called. Mumblehauser falls to the mind of the Protoss. It's going to be on Ephemeron. In the top left, taking a 1-0 lead in the series. Back to the main stage, Ducenath. In the bottom right, as the purple Zerg, give it up for Mumblehauser. Like Ducenath, gonna get the hatch block again. This is really tilting us as a Zerg player. You're just gonna go for the 3rd base right away. Ducenath drops the pylon as well. 3rd base will make it down. Gateway opener for the Protoss, so no cannon rush to shut this down. Extractor pool for Mumblehauser. Protoss goes for the natural. Gets a cyber core. Mumblehauser finally tagging onto that probe. Shut down the pylon. pylon dropped on the Platinum Heroes logo. Another pylon dropped. We're really trying to save this probe, but it's not gonna work. Adept coming out. Take shots. Adept shades past the Lings. Looking to get on these mineral lines again. You're extra vulnerable to Adepts when this happens, and it looks like Mumblehauser isn't going to get a third anytime soon. This Adept has anything to say about it, but there's enough Lings to deflect to get this around. Fade out. Is going to complete in time to save the Adept. Mumblehauser was down a 3-minute 43rd, definitely very late for the Zerg. Protoss has an Oracle on the map. Lings get a pick on an Adept, which is quite nice. The Oracle will deflect here, but this is actually good for the Zerg. This means the Oracle isn't going around the map, isn't damaging drones, and it looks like the Lings might get in for... there's a Stalker in the wall, so not going to happen. But just buying time. Spore Crawlers have been thrown down at the third, at the main. A second Spore Crawler being thrown down as well. That might pay off, because... Ducenath going for a second Oracle as well as the Phoenix. Boom goes the Overlord. Down goes a Robo Facility. Mumblehauser remaking that Spore Crawler, as we noted earlier, moving it down to the natural. Our Masters player getting feisty. This isn't Dungeon Keeper. You can't slap the workers to make them go faster. That's not how this works. Oracles gliding slowly towards their location. There are 3 of them, as well as a Phoenix. Phoenix can get a lift on the Queens, but for some reason, Ducenath really likes to pick off the Overlords and just never use the Oracles, ever. Oh my god, an Oracle goes down in the Spore Crawler before it kills a single drone. Ducenath is repelled here. I mean, when 3 Oracles and a Phoenix come into your base, you don't expect to lose 2 drones. Phoenix is going into the main, and it's gonna take heavy hull damage before the recall goes off. Roach speed started out for Mumblehauser, and they're off to a lot more solid start, but still behind in workers. The Protoss was allowed to get a third up during the air toss harass. +1 about halfway done. Charge started up. Mumblehauser powering up with 12 more drones, but they really need a 4th base or an assault on the Protoss 3rd. They want to have a chance tying up the series. Oracle's only picking off a Ling here and there. 0 drone damage done to the Zerg economy, but they're still pretty behind here. 54 workers to 68. Mumblehauser has to do something. They have to go on the attack. Bunch of drones are being pulled to the 4th location. As it finishes up, Hallucinated Phoenix are going to see that. This 4th location pretty open to attack, and I think Ducenath knows that. Positioning their Stalkers, Charge Lot, Immortal pretty far forward. And back it off, opt for a 4th base instead. Creep spread not out here to protect this either. But both teams still playing it pretty passive. Ducenath definitely in the lead. Heavily up in army supply, heavily up in workers. With a 4th base, as a Zerg, you never want to be even on bases with the Protoss. These are like the most threatening, but also ineffectual oracles in the history of ever. 5 kills and 2 kills, but a lot of those were Zerglings. Protoss pushing on to creep. Hydra's finally picking off the oracles at the 9.5 minute mark. But the Protoss has split the Zerg. The 4th base is cut off. Hydra's going to kite back. There's not too many charge lots. There is a lot of High Templar. I don't think... There's the Storm. Workers trying to be morphed in. GG is called. Mumbles is going to try to hold on. It's not enough. Ducenath takes the series 2-0.